Lastly, here's a couple of do's and don'ts, just so that you use LinkedIn correctly. It's not a social site. This is not a place to post your jokes or your memes or any of your social events. If you had a birthday party or went on vacation, this is not the place for it. If it's business related, yes. If it's company related or it's your position related, that's where you put it. But this is not for your social platform. So you need to be professional at all times. If you comment, you need to comment constructively. Make sure that whatever you're commenting is, first of all, intelligent, and also that you're not trying to break anyone down, you're not being emotional about your comments, but do comment. Make sure that you're engaged with your audience. Make sure that you're actually talking about that particular topic, or create a topic which you would actually like information about, and then receive the comments back. Don't troll or stalk anyone on LinkedIn. Remember, the minute that you view a profile, that person will be able to see that you viewed their profile. It also depends on the level that you're on. So if you're on a basic level with LinkedIn, you'll be able to see up to a certain point. If you're on premium, you'll be able to see much more. So for example, if somebody has viewed you, but they are a third connection or they're out of your network, then you will only see something to the effect of LinkedIn user in marketing industry viewed your profile 2 days ago. Whereas if it's somebody that's within your network, and especially if it's your first connections, you'll be able to see Jackie Johnson actually looked at your profile 1 day ago. So that's the kind of thing that you need to be careful of. They will also be able to see you. Now, the other thing is that you need to be consistent, okay? And you also need to check in at least once a week. You don't have to spend that much time on it. 5 minutes once a week is more than enough. You go and have a look at what people in your industry have posted. Look at your timeline and see if there's anything that's interesting. Go and like it or make a comment on it. What you could do is also go to your groups and have a look and see if there's anything where you can find out information. So that's why also choose your groups carefully. Don't just join every group that's available, but rather pick those groups that are closer to what you want to achieve. And then also practice your reciprocal responses. The more that you actually comment or like on somebody else's comments or posts, the more that they will be willing to engage with you. And like I said, you don't have to accept everyone's connection request. Really be very specific and choose wisely. Check out their profiles. Make sure that they have a photo. Anybody who hasn't got a photo means that they're not really, they don't actually know what they need to do with their profile yet, or that they're not really taking it seriously, or that they're trying to hide something. This is an open public platform. So go and have a look at the photo. Go and have a look at who's the mutual connections that you have, and check out the profile and see what have they been doing. Why should you connect with them? If there isn't a serious amount of mutual interest, or they're not really in your industry, have a look at really, is there any benefit to making that connection? If they haven't given you, send you a note to say why they want to connect, be careful and just make sure. But it's worth your while to make those connections because of who those people are connected to. It could be that within in the second tier or the third tier, there is somebody that you need to tap in at some stage. So think carefully about who you're connecting with, but you don't have to connect with everybody. And don't feel guilty if you don't connect with anybody. And don't be afraid to actually contact those experts for their advice. be honest in your communication and say why you really want to talk to them. Don't bombard them with requests. Rather ask them if they have the time to speak with you. Would they mind connecting with you? And could they actually help you maybe solve a problem? Or is there somebody else that they could recommend that you rather speak to? And if they don't answer you, it doesn't mean that they don't want to talk to you or engage with you. It just means that sometimes they are so busy. LinkedIn is not an email platform, so you don't have to open up and respond to each and every message in your inbox straight away. Some people only look at it once every 2 weeks. Don't, harass them and say you didn't answer my email or didn't answer my inbox messaging. This is a way to reach out. Most times people will answer you and get back to you, but make sure that you don't, communicate that you're unhappy that they didn't. Now, I know that they have the happy birthday and the word congratulations, but be careful. Again, this is not a social site, so saying happy birthday, save that for Facebook if you really know the person. Rather stick to that. If it's a work congratulations, know if that person really did change jobs or got a promotion. Sometimes people haven't updated their profile and they make a slight change 6 months later. And now all of a sudden you send work congratulations. So the algorithm shows outdated information and it just doesn't sit well sometimes. So rather stick to the liking or commenting if they do post something, and rather stick to making personal connections with that person. Remember, there's a lot of really valuable articles and slides and current information available. Go and have a look at that. There is sometimes such amazing information that you miss, especially once you leave university. Especially when you've finished your MBA or your other programs, you miss that stimulation. And LinkedIn is really good at providing current information. There's a lot of trends, there's a lot of information about strategy, and then very much on your experts or your industry level. So that's where you're going to find a lot of up-to-date information, which again is valuable for you to share to your network if you know that that would be interesting for them as well. So go and do that. You're actually providing value to somebody else. For the do's and don'ts, all I want to show you here is when you go to your timeline, you should be able to see people that you're connected with who are posting interesting things. Here you can share an article. You can share your idea, or you can share something else. You can write an article. It then becomes published. If you do write an article, please make sure that you've checked your spelling and your grammar. Check that your facts are correct. Make sure that the information that you have in here is referenced or that it is relevant. Because once you post it, people are going to see it. And the stronger of an influencer that you are, the more people are going to see it. Not only that, but repost it and spread it out. So this information must be right tip-top, very professional. But go and have a look, see what else is there. You'll see quite a lot of promoted information that comes from the companies promoting their companies. But what is very interesting is often they will then put in interesting articles, be able to see interesting information. Or somebody else is actually posting that we're looking for student workers to join our global marketing team. And sometimes you find somebody will say, oh, by the way, our company has got a vacancy. Does anybody know of a good marketer? And so you must also be aware and make sure that you are looking at your feed, because otherwise you could miss some of these opportunities. You'll see here, it might be an article. What it does, it takes it straight through to the article, as you would when you're looking at Twitter or anything like that. And again, if you find that's interesting, go and like it or comment on it. Okay. So this would be a good way just to go and have a look and see what are people posting, what are they actually talking about. Every now and then, have a look and see what's going on. And that shouldn't take you too much time. 5 minutes once a week is more than enough.